Before we get into today's production, if you're watching this video anytime around the release date, which is the 20th of April 2025, on through the end of this week, I think the 28th is the last day of the sale, the folks over at Excess Sites in Fort Worth, Texas are having a 25% off store-wide sale on anything they have on their inventory. You don't need a promo code. You just put it in the cart. The price will automatically be reduced. So if you are looking for something that they offer, jump over there and check them out and help support the folks that help us to keep the lights on here in the studio.
And now for our feature presentation.
Hey there, folks. How you doing today? Welcome back to the channel, and please bear with any background racket that you might hear throughout this production. We are on location where life happens right out there. There's noise being made. Let's not let it stand in the way of what we have going on here. Also, it's April. There's stuff blooming out there. I'm feeling that a little bit, so if I sound like I've got allergies or something, I do a little bit. We're not going to let it stand in the way of the fun that we have in store for you. Out here on the table in front of me is something I am super excited to share with you. Some of you might already know what this is. Others might think you know what it is. No, this is not one of Ruger's 1895 guide gun trappers that Ruger made after they acquired Marlin a couple of years ago. Nor is this a Rimlin that was made after Remington obtained Marlin back in 2008. Folks, allow me to introduce to you an original, limited edition, one of 500 Ruger 1895 STP made by J.M. Marlin up in North Haven, Connecticut. This gun is 20 plus years old. My buddy Dane purchased it when he was living in Alaska many years ago. He brought it to Texas with him. He first told me about this about a year ago. We were sitting in his truck together at work and we were talking about guns. And he told me he had this thing, and I was super excited to hear it because I used to have an original JM 1895 in 4570. I have one now in 450 Marlin. I love them, and they just hold a soft spot deep in my heart. So when he told me he had it, I was happy to hear it, and I wanted to know more. Then he dropped the bomb on me, and he told me that he wanted to mount a receiver rail on it like the ones that Excess Sites make. Well, for those of you that have been watching on here, you know that the folks up in Fort Worth at Excess Sites have been loyal supporters of all the nonsense that we do on this platform. Love those folks. They've helped us out a bunch in the past. So at that time, I told him, I said, hey, man, if you want an Excess Site rail on that rifle, just let me know. I will talk to them, and we will make it happen. So I reached out to the folks up at Excess. They sent me one of the rails here. Now, this is just the rail. It doesn't include the ghost ring sights, but he's planning on mounting an optic on there anyway, so we're going to go with that. I've got the rail right here. We're going to be putting it on the rifle in just a few minutes. Now, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you'll know that YouTube has some weird rules when it comes to what you can and cannot do to one of these things on the videos on their channel. Now, mounting optics is certainly one of the things that you can do according to the YouTube terms of service.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Based on stuff that has happened to us here in the past over complete nonsense. If you want to watch the step-by-step installation, you'll have to jump over to our Rumble channel. Otherwise, for the folks watching on YouTube, you'll see the rifle like it is now, and then... In fact, right now would be a great time for you to look us up on Rumble. Now, you'll notice I'm dressed different. We have already been out to the range. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But I'd like to reiterate, if you are watching this on YouTube and you want to see things like that install video, jump over and check out our Rumble channel. I will put a link to it down in the description. Everything looks good on top of the rifle. I took it out to the range today, Saturday, April 19th. Really busy. A lot of people in town visiting kinfolk and what have you, and the range was packed. So I've got the noise on the videos reduced down really low because they had a lot of music and just a lot of background chatter. But you can see here what we were able to do with the rifle. At the 25-yard range, straight out of the box, I hadn't made any adjustments to the Go-Utar yet. You'll see here this first round hit the paper at about the 5 o'clock mark, pretty far down on that outer circle, which it was a big bullseye. So I made a few adjustments to it, and I was able to shoot a nice small little group just low and to the right of the bullseye. Now, before I made any more adjustments to the optic, I ran the target out to the 50-yard range. I put another one through it, and you'll see that I hit again low and to the right just a little bit. So I made a couple of fine-tune adjustments to the optic, and the next 3 rounds fired on paper. Were a nice little group, probably inside of 1 inch, and that was at 50 yards, so about a 2-minute of angle group on an unmagnified red dot on top of a 16-inch 45-70. I will take that all day long. I don't know if you had a magnified optic, a traditional rifle scope, or perhaps an LPVO mounted up on top of this rail from Excess Sights. I think probably that group could have been cut in half pretty easily. My buddy had told me that the rifle shot exceptionally well with this Hornady 325 grain FTX projectile, and it didn't disappoint. It was really good. And again, this is about as unmagnified of an optic as you could ask to put on here. But with the versatile options that you have here, with rail way out here in like a scout setup or in a conventional rifle setup, or for something like this little red dot, the possibilities are almost endless for what you could mount on top of your Marlin 1895 or your Marlin 336 with one of these cool rails from Excess Sights. So again, I would encourage you to jump over there, check these out on their website, and tell them I sent you. If you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more on it, if you want to see this rifle again, reach out and let me know. I know there's going to be a few of you that are already banging away saying, well, you didn't test that optic with, 500 rounds or whatever. Hey, 4570 is expensive. If you want to send some over here to the channel, I'd be happy to run them through the rifle. You feel me? Most of you get it. Anyway, had a lot of fun with this rail project. The optic was great too. We're going to talk about the optic in a separate video. Let me know down below what you think. And until next time, take care and God bless.